Hindalco Industries, including its international subsidiary Novelis, earns close to 85% revenue from aluminium. Unfortunately, in 2019, the global aluminium consumption dropped by 1% year on year. Let's do a three-point analysis to understand what has been the impact on Hindalco of this and what is the outlook going forward. 1. Aluminium business most impacted in Q3. Well, December quarter numbers showed a 12% drop in revenues and 24% year-on-year decline in the consolidated profit after tax. Across segments and businesses, the results were influenced by the lower volumes and falling realization. Now, during the quarter, the global aluminium prices also dropped by 11% to an average of 1754 rupees per ton. Now, the biggest impact was seen on its domestic aluminium business, which accounts for 19% of its revenues. Now, despite a marginal 1.5% growth in the sales volumes, the aluminium business during Q3 reported a 9% year-on-year drop in revenues. Further, as a result of lower realizations, its EBITDA saw a 17% year-on-year decline to just over 1,000 crore rupees. 2. How was the performance of Novelis and the copper businesses? Well, relative to the domestic aluminium business, Novelis was able to keep its volumes at almost the same levels. Its revenues declined by 10% on a year-on-year basis. The operating performance was better because of the lower cost and product portfolio optimization. Now, despite a drop in the overall revenues, Novelis was able to grow its EBITDA per ton by 7% to $430 per ton. Importantly, since Novelis accounts for close to 65% of the consolidated revenues, its strong operating performance helped cover in the poor operating performance of the copper business and the domestic aluminium businesses as well. Now, copper segment was the most impacted because of the slowdown in the domestic economy and the international prices. Copper saw a steep 15.2% decline in volumes. Now, this along with the correction in the international prices added to its woes, leading to a 20% decline in copper segment revenue. Now, this also had an impact on profitability, because of which the EBITDA was dropping by 49% on a year-on-year basis. However, the overall impact was lower considering the copper accounts merely about 16% of the consolidated revenues. 3. What's the outlook going forward then? Well, December was probably the worst quarter for the current fiscal. However, the situation is far from improving considering the lower aluminium prices right now. Slow growth in consumption in both the domestic and international markets, led by the slowing economy and other concerns like coronavirus, trade issues, still persist and could have their impact in the coming months as well. If the Chinese demand is impacted and the rest of the world is also facing challenges, there is very little headroom for growth, at least in the near term. Now, the domestic copper market is even more fragile. The only good thing is that Hindalco is one of the lowest cost producers in the world, and Novelis operations has started to actually stabilize as well. Besides, the overall group debt is also under control. The integration of the recently acquired company Aleris also would be critical. Now, in terms of valuations, it is trading at 9 times FY21 estimated earnings, which is on the higher side and offer a little room for appreciation considering the prevailing issues as well.